Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy Zay Plays, and we are back with another video. Today, I have my updated Bloodmage. A lot of you guys have been waiting on this video. Last time I did this video, I think I was like level 40 something. We are currently level 74 in in-game on this character. And there has been some changes. There was some different directions that I went on in my skill tree that I said I was going to go a different way on. Definitely still have a lot of mid-maxing I can do to this build. This build is nowhere near perfect yet, but we're going to get into that later in the video. Once I show you guys all the skills that we're running, the skill tree that I have currently, and the Ascendancy Bloodmage skill tree that I have decided to go on with. Because a lot of things actually have changed, but everything is not perfect yet, and we are working towards it being perfect. Build has not changed too much. We are still running a lot of the same things, but we are just doing it a different type of way. So our main damage dealer is still going to be Hex Blast. Hex Blast is when this build comes online. This build is kind of miserable until you unlock that, because until then, you can only run Contagion and you can only run Essence Drain. If you are doing what I did and basically locked myself into just being a pure Chaos Mage, which, let me tell you, early game was not fun. It was not fun at all. But you know, the build progressively got stronger and stronger, so you know, we're at a pretty good spot right now. But let's go over our skill gems. Life Remnant. You guys know, if you are a Blood Mage, that you get a 25% chance to spawn a Remnant on killing an enemy, but the big one here is spawn a Remnant on critically hitting a target no more than once every 2 seconds. And if you build your Blood Mage the right way, you pretty much are guaranteed to hit a crit every single time. So that is why we are running this build the way we're doing it. These, you can really put in whatever you really want to. Mana Drain does literally nothing because we don't use it. If I had a better wand, this wouldn't even be here. Malice. Malice is something that I have recently started putting onto my character. So it emits an aura that continuously inflicts critical weakness on enemies in your presence. Now, what is critical weakness, you may ask? So critical weakness causes hits against affected targets to have plus 0.5 percent to critical hit chance, and can stack up to 20 times. So you're just telling me that I can stack critical hit chance? Yes, we love that. We love that. So we are running Malice in our offhand. This might change later on if I can get something that has more spirit on my armor piece that also gives me the right things that I want on the armor piece, my chest piece, because as of right now, I just can't get lucky enough to build my own armor piece to get spirit and everything else that I need. The next big thing, the other reason that this build is online, you need to have Blasphemy on your build. Socketed Curses, skills apply in the aura around you, 10% reduction in reservation. Each one costs 60 to a curse. So the main curse that we are running is Despair. It literally just puts a chaos curse on them, and you know, it just happens to go perfectly with my build, having a chaos curse. Curses all targets in the area after a short delay, lowering their chaos resistance. So you're telling me I am lowering their chaos resistance, and it's a chaos spell. Okay, great. That is perfect for my build. Next, 25% increase effect of supported curses, and curse zone from supported skills erupt after 30% increased delay. This doesn't really apply too much to this one, but the bottom half does. Supported skills have a 50% increased area of effect. We want this aura around us from Blasphemy to be as big as possible, so it is reaching out as far as possible. One thing that you're going to run into on this build is being super close to enemies. Now, that is not normal, in my opinion, for a witch to be super close to enemies. That's not how I think of a witch, but you know, we do what we got to do to stay alive and to do what we got to do. Contagion is just one of those ones where it's just perfect for mapping. My main thing, I will just tell you guys now, I like to put, when I'm mapping, I like to put down my Dark Effigy, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I like to hit an Essence Drain, and then I like to hit a Contagion. It just makes things disappear from your screen. I'm not gonna lie. Contagion is not the strongest spell by itself, but combined with Dark Effigy and combined with Essence Drain, it is super strong. These are the support gems I'm running on it. Hinder, chaos damage over time inflicted by supported skills also hinders enemies. Skills have 40% more area of effect. and +1 supported chaos skills. That +1 might go into my last slot on Hex Blast once I unlock it. Now to the main spell that we are using, Hex Blast. Deals 319 to 592 chaos damage, 20% more chaos damage. It's just beautiful. Detonates a curse on enemies in a 2.8-meter radius, maximum 9 explosions per cast. So I think it caps at killing 9 enemies, whatever. What we're running on it: concentrated effect. Supporter skills deal 40% more area damage, but has a smaller area of effect. Arcane tempo. We just want our cast speed to be as fast as possible, especially because I'm negating it in the next one pretty much, just so I can get more damage. Considering casting, support skills have 15% less cast speed. Support skills deal 40% more damage with spell hits. I like damage. And then the last one, supporter skill gains 25% of damage as extra chaos damage. Supporter skills sacrifice 10% of life on use. So, if you don't know, a Bloodmage kills itself when you cast. It takes life and mana. So I am doubling that down by giving more life. So I like damage, and I like killing myself, I guess, in this game. Because I just do things that make my life just go down extremely fast. But our life remnants kind of stabilize that, so it's really fun. Withering Presence, it just basically, if you don't know what Withering does, Withering applies a 5% increased chaos damage taken and can be inflicted up to 10 times. It just makes our chaos damage stronger. Now, I know I said this was a pure chaos mage build, but this is something I'm doing just to test out. I don't know how much more it stacks with the Malice, because I'm running Io Winter just for the one inflict critical weakness on hit. I don't know how much that stacks with the Malice or not, so it's just something I'm testing right now. Essence Drain I've talked about. You can really run whatever you want on Essence Drain. These are what I'm running. I'm running Chain just so I can get the dot over more enemies, which makes my Dark Effigy faster, shoot faster. I'm running Scatter Shot to shoot more of those Essence Drains out. And this one really I'm thinking about taking off because it fires in a circle. I really don't need that for this build, but yeah, you can run it, you can't. This one, Dark Effigy, is really critical for mapping. It just puts down a totem, the totem stays on the ground, and it shoots things extremely fast and clears things extremely fast when you get it to max speed. 50% chance to inflict Withered for 2 seconds on hit as well. So I'm running Persistence just so the skill can stay out for longer. I'm running Withering Touch so I can get more withered enemies, so with more damage. And support skills have 100% increased critical damage bonus, but less critical hit chance. That really doesn't matter too much for this build, especially with how much it's hitting. The critical hits will occur. And I don't even think this has critical hits on it. Yeah, I didn't think so. Now, Detonate the Dead is something that I also like to use when I'm about to literally just die, because once we get into the skill tree, you'll see that I also take my energy shield when casting chaos spells. So Detonate the Dead is kind of a little bit just of a stabilizer when I'm mapping, just so I don't die. I literally can contagion, and then I can detonate the dead, and it'll just spread. Grim Feast, I'm using it just so I can try to stabilize my energy shield. 50% chance to spawn a remnant when an enemy or reviving minion dies in your presence. So it's really just to try to get my energy shield to stay at a suitable duration when I am mapping. Now for the weapons and armor that we're using, this one is really irreplaceable right now because of 72% increased spell damage, plus 63% increased chaos damage, plus 4 the level of all chaos spells, and 50% critical spell damage bonus. The only things I wish that weren't on here that I got something else was the gain 25% of damage as extra fire damage and the +8 intelligence. If I could have got crit hit chance as well, that would have been crazy. Like I said, we're running an Omen Scepter, which grants us Malice. For one, we're running it because we need the Spirit. Once I get a better chest piece, we probably will take this off and run a focus in our offhand. That I have a focus, and I'll show you guys before I stop talking about the armor. But going over to here, This is really just to keep us alive and give us the critical hit chance. So we want to stack as much critical hit chance on our armor pieces as we physically can and get as much life and mana as we can on our build as well. Energy shield is also very nice to grab. I like finding things with rarity, so 18% increased rarity to items found, 30% increased spell damage as well, and then obviously stacking that energy shield and giving us life through the strength as well. I don't care how I get life, I need to have life on this character. This one is one I'm probably going to replace. Again, gains 13 life per enemy killed. It literally is just to try and stabilize our life. And then we have the 13.1 life regeneration per second. So it's not the best ring, but this is one of the things that I'm thinking about changing as well. And then we have the chest piece. If I can find something similar to this while also having spirit on it, like 40 spirit, I will take the Omen Scepter off and put in a focus. But for right now, this is the best thing I have. It's giving me a lot of energy shield, giving me a lot of life, and it's also giving me resistances. This ring, another one that I'm thinking about changing, but it does give us the 17% increased critical damage bonus, and then cast speed as well, and cast speed is very nice. We're running this because of the mana, we're running this because of the life, and we're also running this because of the critical damage bonus. Another one I really wish was on here, critical hit chance. But beggars can't be choosers, and we have not finished our armor set off completely for this build because, you know, it's really hard to get everything that you want on one piece of armor. I'm just running this for the life. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm running it for the life. And last but not least, we're talking about our boots, running it because of the energy shield, life, and because it has 25% move speed. We all like to move faster. We all know that. Now, before I get into the passive skill tree, this is my critical hit chance, which is 66.9%. I've definitely seen this in like the 80s and on 90s, I'm pretty sure, on some people's builds. So, like I said, once I get better items and stuff like that, once I finish mid-maxing my build, this is going to be a lot higher. And my critical damage bonus is plus 246%, which is a lot of freaking damage. Now, to get into my passive skill tree, like I've been saying, we want to build things that have chaos damage. Like, example right here, 29% increased chaos damage. And we want to build things that have critical hit chance. It doesn't matter if it's critical hit chance for spells. It doesn't matter if it's just critical hit chance in general. We just want to find things that have critical hit chance just so we can increase that number to make our build as strong as possible. This is an example of the tree that you can follow to maximize your critical hit chance and damage after critical hit chances as well, plus getting your chaos damage. Now, the one that I'm thinking about taking off of my build, which is I feel like killing me the most, is this one right here. 53% increased chaos damage. Great, right? Lose 3% of your life and energy shield when you cast a chaos skill. So this is why I do run Detonate the Dead on my build. I will just cast Contagion after I've killed one thing, and I will just start detonating the dead just so I can literally stay alive because it's not a chaos spell. It's going to take my life, but it's not going to take my energy shield, which typically if I do that, it stabilizes. Now, chaos, crit chance. If you see in here, just crit chance, chaos damage, crit chance, chaos damage. That is what we're trying to build everywhere that we can find it. Another one that is a big one, 20% reduced critical damage bonus, but you get a 50% increased critical hit chance. I can stabilize the critical damage bonus in my opinion, so I wasn't really too worried about that. Other than that, this is like the skill tree that if you guys want to follow my example. It's kind of a little bit everywhere, but you guys can manage. I promise you guys can manage. It's good for where I'm at right now. There's only a couple things I might change on this, as like I said, that being one of the super big ones. And the jewels that I'm running, this one doesn't really help me too much anymore because I'm not really running minions anymore. But 15% increased maximum energy shield, 10% increased critical hit chance, 15% increased critical hit chance for spells, and 25% increased area of effect for curses. This is perfect for my build. This is literally perfect. Now to go down to the Ascendancy. So if you guys watched my original video, you knew I was running this way, 12% amount of life leached and 10% of spell damage leached as life, which was really helping keeping me alive, but I like damage. I've said that a lot in this video. I like damage. So we decided to go for this 12% increased critical hit chance for spells, 1% increased critical damage bonus per 40 life, 12% increased critical chance for spells, and this is the really big one. This is why my crit chance is so high. This is why a lot of people that run Blood Mage's crit chance is so high. Your base critical hit chance for spells is 15%. That just makes everything super, super high. That's why my crit chance is pretty much 67 right now. Making the base 15 and stacking it with all the critical hit chances and everything that I have in here just boost the numbers that you can put out. Like I said, we do still need a couple pieces of armor and weapons to make this as strong as it possibly can. But as of right now, this is what I have. It gets me through maps pretty easily. It's not any like crazy top tier, you're gonna clear maps in 3 seconds build, but it is a fun build that I feel like is more engaging than those builds, and I have a lot of fun on it. This was the first build I've ever created by myself, because this is my first ARPG I've ever played. So this is the first build I ever created, so it will always have a special spot in my heart, and I did this pretty much by myself. And I just like it. I just like it because chaos sounded cool, and I decided to go with it. I decided to stick through the low point, and I made a build that I genuinely can run in maps and got me through the whole game. But other than that, you guys, if you guys liked the video, hey, make sure you guys drop a like. Make sure you guys drop a sub if this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, just drop them down below in the comments. I will answer them. If you guys would like to join our Discord, I will link that in the description of this video. We talk about PoEs, and if you guys want to see this build in action, hey, come by the streams whenever I stream PoE. I definitely will be playing a lot more PoE because I really enjoyed the game. But other than that, guys, it has been your boy Zay Plays. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Peace out and bye.